it was reported that the FBI had conducted a corruption investigation in the dealings with the city and the stadium sale, which led to the resignation of Anaheim Mayor Harry Sadu. Uh-oh.
Not a
Well,
good look.
well, a couple scandals. Didn't hear about that one. All right, welcome back, everybody, to another wonderful episode of Banter on the Rocks. Got myself Tim here today, as well as John, of course, as always. And today is Monday, February 23rd. And if this is your first time here, welcome to the show, of course. And to everyone who tunes in each and every week, thank you for all of the support. Make sure to hit that follow or subscribe button so you're here for each and every weekly drop. And on today's episode, we're going to be diving into our latest banter takes, Olympic talk, and we got some Wolves football updates, a couple new segments coming your way as well, and much, much more. And as always, we are bringing you real talk, honest reactions, and plenty of banter along the way. And all right, so let's get into it as we do each and every week. We're kicking things off with our banter drink of the week, what we're sipping on, why we chose it, and how it's fueling our energy for today. I will start us off with this one. Continuing on with the trend of gin and tonic, laid off of, I had a beer at the baby shower we all went to over the weekend, John, and then I kind of felt under the weather a bit. Took some of the good old immunity boost
Yeah.
from um, Taste Salud.
Hmm.
Helped out a bunch. Helped out a bunch. Bought some more, so I have excess supply.
Nice.
But work today, so just powering through it. Gin and tonic. Feel like it's a deserved, hopefully, right
Yeah,
trend of feeling better.
that's good. Yeah, no, it's that time of the year. Weather's wonky, cold, hot, cold, hot.
Yep.
But I'm sticking to the tequila and the tea salute again. Just staying hydrated, immunity, because a lot of people are getting sick. And like I said, this weather's just weird. So,
Hmm.
but yeah, no, gin and tonic's good. Like I said, tequila kills some of that bacteria, if any.
Hmm.
So I always think it helps.
With that, have you seen those videos where they put like germs under a microscope and they drop different types
Like
of liquor over it?
whiskey, tequila. Yeah.
It's just genocide of the germs.
Yeah.
It destroys them. It's
It
good stuff.
does. It does. It should make it a medical thing, and you can use like HSA for it,
Yeah.
for some
Ab-
bottles of alcohol.
yeah, doctor prescribed.
Yes.
That'd be hilarious.
But but yeah, those are our drinks for this week. And we'll get started with our first just segment. Tim's Wolfpack check-in. So the Wolfpack, the Wolves had a game this past weekend. I'll let Tim share a little bit.
Yeah, so we took on Crystal Palace this past weekend. I was, honestly hoping we're heading in, what seemingly was a decent trend to maybe kind of have the deficit between last place and second to last place be a little bit less than it has been.
Hmm.
Couldn't do it against them. We lost 1-0. Crystal Palace scoring in the 90th minute, so it's just a goal at the very end of the match, kind of a gut-wrenching blow to a game that was, trending towards hopefully being a
Hmm.
draw and, kind of moving on from there. But yeah, from there it was just kind of lackluster again. I feel like there was, much to be kind of sought after throughout the match. I wasn't able to watch much more than just highlights of this match, just being out and about and traveling this past weekend. But I believe he was maybe out of a recent match. Our goalie, he was back in this week. I think for the most part did pretty good, but just couldn't really save that final goal, and it's kind of what
Hmm.
tilted us over the edge there. Um, yeah, I will say though, out in public wearing the Wolves
Hmm.
jersey this past week, got props for for the recent draw against Arsenal. Don't know if, I mean, that guy's an absolute wizard to, pinpoint out a Wolves jersey in public. That
Yeah.
was phenomenal. Love that. Don't know if it's because we just played Arsenal recently and, came up with the draw, but it was pretty cool. I'm glad there is some support out there.
hmm
Um, but yeah, hopefully we can, pull something out. Was also talking with the brother-in-law and father-in-law over the weekend, both just putting a big damper on what they think of the Wolves and where they think we're heading, and they definitely say relegation's in the sights.
hmm
I still believe we can get ourselves out of a rut, but I think it's going to get really tricky to even be able to do that. So, but anywho, 1-0 lost for Crystal Palace, which could have been a
Yeah.
bit better.
Yeah. Tough loss, and I think you had one of your players get a red card towards the end of the game.
Correct.
It made it tough. It's a big week for you guys because Friday you guys got Aston Villa, and then it leads into the double header with Liverpool. So one league match
Yep.
and one FA Cup match. So, um, like I say, some good games coming up for you guys.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I will say the next two, three matches will all be at Molineux. No, we kind of talked about that last week.
hmm
If we need any type of momentum, it's playing at home against these powerhouses about to come in.
hmm
So yeah, hopefully we can get something going. Um, not loving that these games aren't on Saturday mornings though. I kind of prefer that. It's just personal reasons. I get to wake
Uh,
up early and watch them. But Friday, I'm gonna do my best to tune into that one.
yeah,
And then we got another Tuesday and then Friday back to back
Friday again.
doubleheader, like you mentioned.
Yeah,
But yeah, let's go Wolves. Let's pull
yeah,
something together here. We
yeah.
got this.
Yeah, we'll see. A good win will be good momentum going against Liverpool at home twice. So,
Absolutely.
but that's Tim's Wolfpack check-in, and we'll go into our banter takes. Our banter takes are our segment where we share takes with each other, just our hottest takes for the week. We don't prep each other. We don't compare notes. We don't pull any punches. And like I say, I don't know what Tim's gonna send me. Tim doesn't know what I'm gonna send him, and it's just real time reactions, just off of our mind. And yeah, we'll go. And my first take, humanity can disagree on a ton of different things, but we can all agree that Punch the Monkey has stolen our hearts this past week, and we all want the best for him. Yeah, I kept on seeing a lot of videos with Punch the Monkey, and man, it pulls at your heartstrings, and if it doesn't pull at your heartstrings, you just aren't human. You must be AI or a droid or something. But like I said, just a whole story on how nature works, and these animals, need that person to sort of connect to, and seeing where Punch the Monkey was at the beginning of, they having to put a stuffed animal monkey for him to feel that love, that connection. And then from the looks of it, and like I say, animal experts could correct us or anything, it looks like some of these monkeys were bullying Punch, at times going after him, not cornering him. I saw in some videos. Um, and like I say, I think things like this, it's just so heartwarming, heart-wrenching. And I saw a lot of comments, a lot of people saying like, hey, we gotta find a way to save Punch, let's put him somewhere else, find a family for him. I think people wanted to adopt him, take him in on his own. But recent updated video I saw, I think it was today, Punch, is connected with someone, someone to sort of, you could say, lean on, grab onto. So uh a full circle moment. But yeah, those videos of Punch are so heartbreaking, how because you hear the cries from the Punch, and then just running to his stuffed animals in the corner by himself, holding it, feeling safe with it. It was heart-wrenching.
Absolutely. Yeah. Totally stole my heart these last couple of days. No, I sent you a video on it, I believe,
Yeah,
and just horrible. It certainly was bullying, if I had to say.
yeah.
Just from the, getting pushed around, he was there. minding his own business in the corner. Then, another monkey dragged him out, was
Yeah.
kind of twirling him in circles. He had to run off. And then the fact that he goes and grabs this stuffed animal monkey.
Yeah.
And they said that it's kind of played the motherly role for
Hmm.
Punch. And just that, that companion. And, it's just so sad to see in public.
Yeah.
He's just a little guy, just trying to make his way around, the zoo. I'm sure that there's some
Hmm.
clicks, in the monkey area and, just some bullying tactics that are certainly going on. Maybe the other monkeys were trying to get a laugh out of it and
Yeah.
not at Punch's expense, though. That's absolutely outrageous. I feel like we can all agree that we want nothing but the best for Punch. And I did see that Punch the Monkey, the IKEA toy, sells
Hmm.
out sending soaring prices to $350, I believe, for
Something there.
resale. So yeah, it was a big deal. I think that IKEA was maybe donating some of this money, if I'm
Hmm.
not mistaken.
Could be.
And they were trying to see. Yeah, yeah. Shoppers, particularly in the US, Japan, and South Korea, raced to the Swedish furniture store to snap up the toys, causing them to sell out. Resale prices have soared to $350. The orangutan costs normally $19.99 in stores, and obviously the resale portion was going, skyrocketing. And the Ichikawa city mayor, Ko Tanaka, and IKEA Japan president Petra Fare
Hmm.
um, posed for a photo in front of a number of donated toys for the animals needing comfort at the zoo. So that's really nice that they are donating these toys, hopefully in, reaching out if some of the other monkeys kind of need
Hmm.
an inanimate object to kind of, feel some love.
Yeah.
Yeah, gut wrenching, but yeah, seems like they, Punch might have a companion. Was getting some really good hugs
Yeah.
from the monkey companion. Was phenomenal, and I hope that other monkey takes, Punch under their wing,
Hmm.
and might give, some confidence. Um, yeah, and just, a little bit more for Punch. But he's only 7 months old. He's
Yeah.
got a long life ahead. Um, Man, that's tough. I don't know the details on these monkeys and why the mothers might abandon them. I think that's pretty customary for this type of monkey. I'm not
Okay.
positive. I'd have to do a little bit more research on that, but yeah, it's capturing the hearts of millions.
Yeah, no, it is. I think everybody has heard the story. If not, they've seen the videos. Um, because I'm trying to find like just try to see if I get some info if like this is a natural type, animal behavior for this creature. Can't really get it that quickly. Um, but like I said, some of the videos and yeah, I saw a lot of those Punch the Monkeys going off the shelves, being from IKEA, $20. Um, I I looked right now on eBay. They're not selling right now at 100. Some people have it for like 49, so double the price.
Okay. Yeah.
So not too bad, but still.
Yeah.
Hopefully those people trying to make money off of it also donate to a good cause because,
Yeah.
that's why it's making money.
That'd be nice. Yeah. No, I did find a little bit more info here on
Hmm.
possibly why uh Punch's mother is no longer around Punch. And supposedly, in Punch's case, this is an article off of The Guardian.
Hmm.
In Punch's case, their mother was a first-time mother, indicating inexperience.
Hmm.
Zookeepers also suggest Punch was born during a heat wave, which would be a high-stress environment. In
Hmm.
environments where survival is threatened from outside stress, mothers may prioritize their own health and future reproduction rather than continue to care for an infant whose health may be compromised by environmental conditions.
Yeah.
So, kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, just, I know that, we go back, we can go back, a little over a decade and talk about Harambe and that whole
Yeah.
scenario. I feel like, when it comes to just animals at the zoo. We kind of felt that way about, the orcas at
Hmm.
SeaWorld. They made a documentary on it. We just all feel for them. It's
Yeah.
it's sad, and that people are going to the zoo, in hopes of, seeing new animals that they haven't seen before, or just the experience that we all like to go and go to
Hmm.
zoos and see and understand animals and nature a little bit more. But to see that bullying going on, there's got to be repercussions.
Yeah.
Just give that other monkey maybe just a bad haircut,
Yeah.
and just you know, make him walk around like that until it grows back
Eh,
out.
you can, but I think it's just like everybody's honest, just instincts and just feelings towards things like that. Because, like I say, if you see bullying in any other type of animal case, you're gonna feel the same way. I
Yep.
don't think it's just Punch a Monkey. I think it's just how extreme they've been doing it with Punch a Monkey and all the videos and attention it's been getting, and because of social media, because when you see videos like this online with like kids that have disabilities, other animals, things like that, you still always have the same feelings and you're always wanting to give to that good cause. Because, like I say, I don't think anybody deserves to be treated this way, no matter what, so, but like you say, this is a first time mom, could be like a teen mom, and we
Mhm.
know, they're not fully developed, don't know exactly how to manage with a kid, and like you mentioned, if it's because there was a heat wave or something, born July 2025, um, it could have been a very hot time in Japan. I'm not sure what the weather was like then.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I wonder if uh Netflix is trying to get in on this story.
It could be.
Documentary recreation through, theatrical, movie sense. Yeah, I feel like it
Yeah.
could definitely get some viewers. Netflix, shout us out if you
Yeah.
would like to come to us.
Yeah.
We'd love to support the idea. And then all earnings go back to
Yeah.
Punch.
I think there's one person that can make it memorable. Ron Burgundy.
Yes, correct.
Ron Burgundy.
Yeah.
He shows up in the Ron Burgundy outfit, acting
Yep,
like Ron Burgundy, reporting on this. That'd be great. Great views. Great, way to cr- get donations, charity towards, punch other Japanese macaw, monkeys and just other animals.
absolutely. If Vince Vaughn is also available, if the other arm could be ripped off as
Yeah.
well, I think that would be fantastic.
Yeah.
Don't know if maybe mistakenly goes to the gorilla habitat, and
It's yeah.
yeah, and
Yeah.
yeah, just goes through it there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. Ron Burgundy, got to call him
Yeah.
up.
Yeah. But like I say, I think that these are some times there's a lot of times where humanity we're gonna disagree on things. We're gonna be on one side and the other, have those arguments. But I think one like this is we all feel the same, and like I say, there probably is a few people that don't feel the way we've been talking about and how many people feel. And like I say, if you don't feel that way, you got to check yourself. Go get some mental health help. Go process what might be going on because it's a natural reaction to have feelings, feel empathy for not just people but animals, anybody in life.
Absolutely. Go take a nature walk.
Yeah.
Go look at the birds, see how they interact, see all the love, and then think about Punch and what he
Yeah.
went through.
Yeah, but that's Punch the Monkey. Like I said, it looks like he's on a better path. He has that, guidance, that support. So, but like I said, I know many people that are going to Japan will probably still continue showing videos and showing the progress. So,
Love
wishing all the
that.
best to Punch the Monkey.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. Here's your first take from me.
Arte Moreno might be the most disconnected owner in pro sports, saying winning isn't a priority because fans supposedly care more about ticket prices and stadium vibes is exactly why the franchise feels stuck. Fans don't show up for the fireworks and food trucks. They show up for October baseball. Yes, that's exactly right. Arte Moreno, has been under much scrutiny. Over most pronounced, I'd say over the last, decade or
Yeah.
so. Having Mike Trout, then obviously winning the bid on Ohtani, and then watching Ohtani leave, watching Mike Trout kind of suffer with a subpar roster for his whole entire career. And, it's kind of wasting that Mickey Mantle type talent and
Hmm.
then pairing it with, you know, somebody who hasn't done things as successfully as he's done since Babe Ruth.
Hmm.
That with Shohei Ohtani. And it's an absolute shame. And it's a travesty because, it's a team that's located in an environment that can have a ton of freaking success.
Hmm.
And the ballpark, I've been there. It's beautiful. It's very, very nice. There's a lot going on in the Anaheim area. Maybe you
Hmm.
just need to rename them back to Anaheim Angels. I
Yeah.
think that's a bit better. I think the rebranding was kind of crappy. Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. I think that's stupid. I think it's just LA Angels now. Not a
Hmm.
fan. Loved Anaheim Angels a bit better. And yeah, focus on your farm system. I think the farm system sucks. They gave a ridiculous amount of money to Anthony Rendon, who amounted to absolutely nothing. He had one great season leading up to a World Series, and after that, that was it. Paid him way too much, way too soon. And he had a piss poor attitude while he was at it also. Um, but yeah, it's a huge disconnect because if you talk to, Angel fans or really any fans of baseball, if you ask them what's the number one thing you're looking for in your team, it's to win. Nobody's saying, oh, just the food or fireworks. Like, hell no, dude. Like,
Uh,
what? I think that it's just absolutely ridiculous. And like kind of, I think in general, the disconnect is like I don't know really what it has to do. Is he somebody who just has a huge ton of money and then buys a team and doesn't really know how to run it, quite frankly. Because he's had zilch for success. I think that there was even a moment where he was going to sell the team, right? And then back
mhm.
down and was like, nope, not leaving. And all Angel fans were pissed.
Yeah. Yeah, I think there was. I think Angel fans want to see him out. I saw this article, in this post. I don't know if I sent it to you. I might have not. Um, but him saying that they did a survey of all their fans, and this is what the fans, wanted more was to have a better fan experience, to have better ticket prices, which I understand makes a lot of sense, but when your team isn't winning, those tickets better be like $5, because we're gonna go see trash. It's not worth the time. And like I say, when your stadium food price, I don't think it's like the cheapest, in the league. It just doesn't make sense. And why own a team if you're not there to either you're not there to make money or win championships. Like I don't know if I had if I had Bill Gates money, um I would buy a team because I would want that team to win a championship. That's my goal. It's not really about it. It is somewhat about making money, but the goal of why I bought this team was to win a championship. If I need to make money, being, Bill Gates, there's so much more other things I would do than buy a baseball team that sucks. You know, it's not about about making money. It's about winning championships, holding that prestige because not many people could say that they owned a team that has won the big game in that league. So him saying this, it's just crazy. I think if you talk to fans, they're probably like, I don't even know what survey he's talking about because I'm curious exactly what survey that is. Because, like I say, a priority for me for I'm a Dodger fan. Winning championships. I love that we've won the last two. If it goes well and the way our roster set up, we're gonna win another one. Who knows? But that's why we like to support that team and we want to go out. Are ticket prices expensive? Yes, but we know majority of the time we're going to see all these big name players and it's going to be fun. Um, the food, we know it's going to be expensive, so we have to either get ready or just buy one thing. Um, and then, like I say, it's about October baseball. We want to see our teams in the playoffs. So Artie Moreno, I think he needs to sell the team. I think after this article coming out and his comments in all investors, board members, I think this team will be sold within the next 2 years.
Yeah, and hopefully rightfully so. It's it's absolutely ridiculous. I was kind of looking up a few things here. Um, they haven't gone over, the Angels have not gone over the luxury tax threshold since 2003. And that's the year that Artie Moreno bought the team. So
Yeah.
most likely he inherited that payroll.
Hmm.
And, along with that, you brought it up, you'd love to hear where where this survey is coming from.
Hmm.
He declined to answer where it's
Yeah.
coming from.
Yeah.
So survey of people in his home,
Maybe.
just his little office,
Yeah.
himself. He's the only one who took the survey, and to him, winning is not in the top five. He seems very agreeable that
Yeah.
winning isn't in the top five, and he says the number one thing fans want is affordability. We can speak on that. We can say fans want affordability because the team is ass
Yeah.
and don't want to pay more than $5 to get in. And quite frankly, you could give them $5 to get in. It should just be sit where you want,
Yeah.
kind of
Free
deal.
seating.
The A's should have done the same thing at the Coliseum. Um, yeah, that, and then they want safety. Okay, agree with that. Everybody wants safety. They want a good experience when they come to the ballpark. So Artie Moreno is winning, I'd say, a
Yeah.
pretty good experience when you go to a ball
Yeah.
game. You want to see your team win. You show up,
Yeah.
you pay for the merchandise, you have the Angels hat, you have a jersey, you have a shirt, whatever it may be. Yeah, you want to go see your team win. I'd say that's a good experience.
Hmm.
I don't think they're talking about like, yeah, extra cheese on the nachos or those jalapenos were popping, like, dude, no, like
Yeah.
that's not the case. So I don't know what way he's taking it, but clearly not the right way because he's saying winning is not in their top five. Um, yeah, would love to see this survey, where it's coming from. See if any maybe Angel season ticket holders could comment and let us know if
Hmm.
they were given a,
Yeah.
like one of those surveys online and
Hmm.
what do they call it? Survey Monkey or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, just one of those generic ones. And yeah, let us know if they reached
Yeah.
out to you because I'm very curious. Maybe that's what the season ticket holder package was this year was fill out this survey. Here's a QR code, scan it, and here's your tickets. That
Yeah.
that might have been it.
It could
Yeah,
have
what a
been.
disaster.
But it's also like, why not show the survey? Because I'm also curious. I'm like, how did he even ask a question about what's your top priority? Because did he even put like, oh, do you come here to see your team win? Majority of the answer is going to be yes. Unless you just get free tickets. I, if I get free tickets for any team, I'll go hang out, watch it. They're free tickets, but it's still, I'll root on the home team every now and then, depending on who they're playing. But yeah, like I say, him saying that, not wanting to share where he got these answers from, the 10 people that probably took this survey are out of towners or, his friends that he's like, hey, make sure to take this survey because it might just be us. Um, it just doesn't make sense. And like, I, I don't even think last time I was at Angel Stadium, I'm trying to think. I think it was like 6, 7 years ago, and we didn't even go for the Angels. We went for the Red Sox. Um, Food selection there, nothing special. All the same stuff that you see at any other ballpark. So it's like that experience for me. It's like I enjoy going to stadiums that have unique things like SoFi. I want to go up to San Fran to to Giant Stadium because you always talk about some of the great food there, and it's like that would be a great experience. But Angel Stadium, from what I could recall, things could have changed by now, but never was really something that I went there for. Oh, I need this, try this food. I was just like, got these cheap free tickets.
Yep. No, absolutely. It's been a long time. I think the last time I went to Angel Stadium was they played the A's, and I specifically went to go watch Carlos Gonzalez play for
Mm.
the A's. That was 1 year he had with them. Um, and that was the highlight of my experience. Food, you're right, very bland, like, it's normal ballpark food,
Hmm.
like, whatever.
Yeah.
Don't know if they've changed that up a whole bunch, but yeah, besides that, you're just going there, you're watching the game. The fountain in center field's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's a decent ballpark in a cool location. Anaheim has a lot going on and beautiful weather always. It's just a fun time. But to see, them kind of talk about the survey. Like, there's just no way if you have a stadium like that that you don't want to go there and watch the team win.
Yeah.
It's total cap. That's why anybody goes. It's why, you can think about the Oakland A's for example, the once upon a time Oakland
Yeah.
A's, and you can't tell me that when the team was complete crap, that any fan went to that stadium for anything other than watching their team win. There's
Yeah.
no way that they went there for the stadium itself. It's literally a concrete,
Yeah.
dump yard. Uh, the food, generic ballpark food. Nothing great. I'm sure it's declined greatly, up to the point that they closed it down. Um, so yeah, it's just you can think of the worst teams in the league. Every fan is going to prioritize winning. I can't be convinced otherwise.
Yeah.
And for them to decline where this survey is coming from, it's just an abomination. They
Yeah.
need to press him more about it all season long until he says something.
Yeah, I'm looking up some of the big things to eat. A lot of it's like it looks like it's at the Lexus Diamond Club, so it's like it's not available to everybody, because you have to have those sweet passes. But like these hot dogs, they just look very messy. They don't even look that delicious. Veggie quesadillas. I guess if you're a vegetarian, good option. Casa Modelo, birria, and veggie quesadillas. Mashed potato, or no, mac and cheese with some pork belly. Okay, looks interesting, but very small portion for probably like $20. Um,
Mhm.
so, and then Modelo Esquite cup. So corn with the butter, cheese, and hot Cheetos, which, like I say, I probably could get it for a lot less money from the vendors outside after the game.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You definitely could. And
Yeah.
um, I'm trying to think. This can be really bad, but I can't really name many players on the Angels outside of Mike Trout. So it's like you go there,
Mhm.
you buy merch,
Yeah,
like you're
it's
buying a
it's
Trout
it's
jersey.
Trout. Oh, I knew someone, but I can't even think about who it is.
Oh, Zach Nato, good
Yeah,
shortstop. He's very
yeah,
good.
that's who I think I was thinking of. There was someone else I
Okay.
think. I don't know if he's still on the team though. Um,
There's Joe Adell. I don't know if he's still there. He was an
yeah,
outfielder. I
yeah.
know that their other great outfield hitter, Taylor Ward,
Okay.
is now, I believe, on the Orioles, if I'm
Yeah.
not mistaken.
Yeah, that's the other
Um,
player I knew about.
yeah, they had big bats,
Hmm.
but
They
that's
don't want to
it.
pay.
No.
Yeah, yeah, and like I say, I think this is where some of these leagues have to go. It's like if an owner doesn't want to pay, they're being too cheap, especially when there is a cap and you're not even getting close to getting spending your cap. We're not asking these teams to go over luxury like, the Dodgers, but like pay a little bit more to be competitive, stay in the run. And if you're not, it's like sell it because, like I said, there's someone that's going to invest more money and bring so much more pride to the fan base and to that city. Um, for many teams, I think of the Angels, the A's now going to Las Vegas. I think they finally have a good backing The Rockies have to be one that's always been a nice, beautiful ballpark that, it's been a dissatisfied service not seeing them in October,
Yeah,
playing there. And I think the other thing for the Angels, go old school, California Angels. Go back to that name. A lot better.
there you go. Yep. Yep, like Angels in the Outfield vibes.
Yeah.
The heyday. Yeah.
Yeah.
That logo is a lot better too.
Hmm.
Like the angel wings on the A.
Yeah. The
I think
CA.
yeah, that was badass.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
really sick. You're
Hmm.
right. That's the way I think you got to go. Didn't they have pinstripes in those jerseys too?
Hmm. Yeah,
Super
they had us
clean.
at, yeah. The blue was also nicer, I think, than the red.
Yep.
Don't make red the primary, make it like a third secondary color.
Sure. Yeah, that navy blue was sweet.
Hmm.
I think that was back when they were wearing vest uniforms, right?
Oh
Where they
yeah, I
had the
remember.
t-shirt under it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I picture Jim Edmonds. I don't know if you remember him playing center field for them for a bit. He had a ridiculous catch with them back in the day, like just Willie Mays style.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, th those are, I think, the vibes you got to go back to, but it's not going to happen under Arte Moreno. You got to do something else. I think at this
Yeah.
point, like massive rebuild, but they're not even they can't even do that successfully.
Mm-mm.
I don't think that they have any intentions on trading Mike Trout, but if they did, I'm sure they could get a not as good of a haul as they ever used to
Hmm.
be able to, but they could probably get something to build off of.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
also didn't they kind of fumble their draft pick this year?
I didn't see who they drafted this year. Or were they the ones that drafted there was someone that fumbled. Was it the Angels?
I think it was, and then Seattle kind of swooped up and
The-
yeah, they got the kid out of Santa Barbara,
okay, yeah, that's what I was about to say. They drafted a Santa Barbara kid, right? Someone
number
drafted
two
like
pick.
the yeah. Who, like I say, isn't a bad player, but I think he was there were so many other better players to take at that number two pick. So
Yeah, yeah. I think it was kind of a fumble. I think that there is yeah, quite a few others that I think there's some pretty big bats and then also some good arms out of high
hmm.
school that
Yeah.
people ranked a little bit higher. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah. Yeah. Bad look for the Angels, Artie Moreno, one of the first few probably, Mexican American, owners in baseball and just like pro sports. So like great for the Hispanic culture, but what he's doing is not a good look for the culture in itself. Because like I say, he's not building a winning franchise. He's building money for himself and bringing things in. That's his priority is that because like I say, you could probably look at some of the more scary type stadiums, Dodger Stadium. When you go there, there's going to be a fight or two. Let's be honest.
Oh yeah.
But the fans are still so loyal. Everybody wants to go to those games. You're gonna sell out, and honestly, you're gonna make more money having a winning team. I think we talked about it with how Dodgers spent money as like the Shohei Ohtani, what we spent on him and what we're giving him during the next 100 years. We already made it back within the first 2 years of him playing. Like we've already paid
Mhm.
ourselves back, and now we're paying off our next contracts because of how popular our team is, how great it is, and how far we go into October. So it's like they have to do better things. Artie Moreno has to either change or move over, sell it. You'll probably sell it for a lot of money. You're gonna make more money than I think he bought it for. But yeah, he needs to move on.
Yeah. Maybe there could be a situation where he sells the team, but he'll still have rights to that parking lot, kind of like the Dodgers. Didn't
Yeah,
doesn't the previous owner still own the parking lot there?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, because he in October 2020, Moreno and his company's SRB management purchased Angel Stadium and the surrounding parking lots from the city of Anaheim for $320 million.
Yeah.
Um, it was reported that the FBI had conducted a corruption investigation in the dealings with the city and the stadium sale, which led to the resignation of Anaheim Mayor Harry Sadu. Uh-oh.
Not a
Well,
good look.
well, a couple scandals. Didn't hear about that one.
Yeah.
But man, yeah. No, and then I totally forgot. Angels had Albert Pujols for,
Mhm.
how could I forget, for a decade
Yeah.
and didn't do anything
Nothing.
with it. That's
Didn't
probably
do
why I
anything.
forgot.
Yeah. Yeah,
Crazy.
Angels had a lot of good things. Like I say, they won a World Series, and then I think, like I say, I hate to blame Arte Moreno, but ever since he took over the Angels, it's been downfall for them. Because, like I said, this was a team that was on the up, won a World Series, drafted Mike Trout, had Shohei, and they couldn't do anything. I wouldn't be surprised if also within the next 2 years, Mike Trout just moves on, tries to go win somewhere else because he knows. I think it's pretty obvious and the writing's on the wall. Mike Trout will never win a World Series in an Angels uniform unless something
Absolutely
major
not.
happens.
Agreed. Yeah, no, only what one playoff appearance
Hmm.
for a season, and it
Yeah.
went terribly. He signed through, let's see, um, 2030. Signed that 12-year, $426.5
Uh,
million contract. I don't feel bad for him because of that
no.
contract. Um, but I do feel bad for what he brings to the culture of baseball and to see him win
Yeah.
would have been awesome, but he's under contract through his age 38, 39 season. So unless he gets traded,
Hmm.
and it looks like his contract includes that full no trade clause, so
Hmm.
he would kind of pick his destination,
Yeah.
which he would have the upper hand in doing so. Hopefully
Yeah.
we'll see if it works. Maybe he'll go back east, and I always thought the Phillies would be interesting for him, especially
Hmm.
no Nick Castellanos there anymore.
Yeah.
Um, he would be an interesting ad. He's kind of from that Philly area,
Hmm.
big Eagles fan, and you have other big bats still on that team, so
Hmm.
be interesting.
Yeah. He could go up the 5 freeway a bit, go to the 405. There's another stadium there
Mm,
that's a little perfect in blue. He has some old teammate there.
mm.
You know, we got the pick, we got picks we don't mind getting rid of.
Is Kyle Tucker not
Prospect.
enough?
Nah, we want more, Tim. We're greedy like
Oh
that.
man.
We just
Hey,
want more.
yeah, and honestly at this point I wouldn't doubt it. But that's also the issue too, John, is Dodgers are willing to spend, Artie Moreno and the Angels are not.
Hmm.
So if that's what it takes, yeah. And I think the Dodgers have the number one ranked farm system as well. So they have
Hmm.
stuff to give up.
Yeah.
Especially because Mike Trout, let's be honest, his price is pretty low. I think it's the lowest it's ever been. His
Yeah.
averages, he doesn't steal bases anymore. His
Hmm.
average has dipped a ton. Power's kind of seen it, and he has really bad injury woes.
Yeah.
So maybe those things get cured when you go to a good team.
Yeah. I think they might. So, but we'll see. But yeah, that's a good take, Tim, the Artie Moreno. And then I think it's more just something I wanted to check in. I don't know if you saw the video I sent you of Micah Parsons talking a little bit, and Shannon Sharp, Chad Ochocinco responding to him a little.
Yeah, I watched it a bit, but yeah, recap it and then yeah, let's certainly
Yeah.
discuss.
Yeah. So Micah Parsons went on Open Thoughts with Funny Marco, and shout out to Funny Marco. Great, funny guy. Great
Yes.
just interviews he does with all these sports players, professionals, um, just honest reactions, straight deep questions. But what Micah Parsons was doing in one of the videos I saw was calling out reporters, and really, I think Skip Bayless was one of the big ones, saying that, he doesn't listen to them because they're just rage baiting, they're all Twitter fingers, and then, him sort of saying that, he has way better takes than some of them, and some of their, what they do, their content just isn't relevant anymore. But when I heard that, I was just like, I just cracked up because we've talked about Micah Parsons, and Micah Parsons also says it, and it's funny how funny Marco responded because he's like, they say this on their podcasts, on their shows about me, but whenever they see me in real life, like they're never gonna say it. And it's like, funny Marco's like, I wouldn't say it because honestly, we talk about it. I would see Micah Parsons. I wouldn't say it to his face because if this guy just wants to punch me, he'd probably punch a hole in me. But I think the biggest thing that I just cracked up about was like him saying, calling out these people for rage baiting, but some of his takes are just rage bait in itself because he says, I think this year he said, if he wasn't injured, the Green Bay Packers would have been to the Super Bowl. That's total cap. That's total rage bait, just
Mhm.
trying to get the attention, So for me, it's like he's complaining about something that he does, um, about the hot takes, but he can't take it when it's about him. He's stirring the pot as well, and he doesn't realize that he's in the same realm as Skip Bayless, Shannon Sharp. And honestly, we're just spitting facts. Yeah, we don't play the position. I don't know what it takes. I know it probably takes so much to play his position, but I can't say I've played it. But regular season, he's a beast. Playoffs, he's a dud. He's a milk dud, man. Because in three playoff games, I have it here. Quick breakdown. 2021, he played one game, nine total tackles, no sacks. Great amount of tackles, but no sacks. That's bad for you. 2022, two games, seven tackles, one sack. So you still lost. 2023, one game, two tackles, no sacks. Those stats for someone that says is one of the best in the game. You're a regular season pro. Postseason, you just turtle and disappear.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, no, exactly right. Yeah, disappears in the playoffs. Phenomenal regular season guy. Um, the way he's talking in the situation altogether, it makes the Cowboys and Jerry Jones look really good.
Yeah.
Like it makes it look like they certainly won that trade. Um, and they flipped it into another
hmm
good defensive player with Quentin Williams. And yeah, the defense, I think that there's something there to build off of. But yeah, overall, I feel like it's very hypocritical, and I don't know if he necessarily realizes it, if it is just rage baiting the
Yeah,
audience, because I think he does a good job at that,
yeah, he does.
hence the back and forth he had with Myles Garrett at Pro Bowl week. It's these things like saying he's a puppet of, these dudes are puppets of national
Yeah,
TV, and like, oh, I'm good with my, but it's like, dude, you're going on a podcast to discuss these things. It's like, dude,
yeah,
you're in the same exact position as they
yeah,
are talking about you. Like
yeah.
what are you talking about? And it's just kind of funny. I remember, watching that clip and just looking at Shannon's and Ocho Cinco's reaction to it, and it was just like they're just there sitting, kind of smirking, smiling. It looked like Shannon was like trying to do other things as
Yeah.
he was listening to it or whatever, just like trying not to crack up. But it's just like, you know, I think he briefly mentioned that playoff thing too, and it's like, it's just facts. He's saying for a player of his stature, a perennial defensive player of the year
hmm
candidate, that his that is not a resume that should buy silence from anyone calling themselves an honest analyst. Let's see. He says he was direct about Shannon was direct about his position. He said Michael Parsons is a phenomenal player, but in order for the Cowboys to be better, he needed to be better. What is wrong with that? And that's
hmm
exactly right. If you're you just went over the stats perfectly. It's like, dude, if you're gonna suck in the playoffs, you're
Yeah,
never gonna be known for anything but a regular season guy. Like
yeah.
it's just like, where does that go? Do you not like the spotlight? And then for him to say that he would have won the Super Bowl with the Packers, knowing his playoff resume, it's like, dude, if that we saw what happened when he wasn't on the Packers defense.
hmm
Like, if you disappear the same way as if you're not playing,
Yeah,
yeah, you guys are going to lose. Like, what are
yeah,
you talking about? Quite frankly, that offense, there's no way like they
yeah,
would have made it that far. I haven't gotten it with the Packers. I think their defense was very good,
yeah.
but that offense, there's nothing there.
hmm
Like, do what you want about Josh Jacobs. Like, he's seen the best of his career already, I think. And I'm not a true supporter of Jordan Love, but I don't know, man. Parsons, he finds his way back into the spotlight here.
Uh,
Funny Marco's, he's a great interviewer. He keeps it lively. If we ever cross Micah Parsons in real life, I'm with you. I think we're best buds. We have a good time. Could talk Packers football. And yeah,
uh,
we can talk about how much Jerry Jones sucks. Sure.
Yeah, yeah, and like I say, I think that's the one thing sometimes starting to do this podcasting, talking about players, and like I say, I know there's probably teams, players that well, they'll never invite us to their games. That these teams will never invite us because we talk about them probably not in the best way. But it's like we're just giving you guys our honest takes, and honestly, we go off a lot of facts. We fact checked a lot of stuff at times, and like I say, we always throw out respect for all these players because they're doing things that no other human being can do. I know I can't play football. All these football players, I talk a lot about Brock Purdy. I know if we get invited to 49ers, it's because of you, Tim, and I'm just probably on the side there. They probably don't want me to speak at all at a 49er game. But it's
Uh-huh.
like I still give the respect to Brock Purdy because of what he's done, and he's a pro football player. I couldn't do what he does, but I have my takes on his play. Just like people have takes on Lamar Jackson, on Josh Allen, not being able to win the big games. Like there's always going to be those takes, and as an athlete and someone just in the media, sports media, in just sports, like you got to learn. Just it's just noise that if you let it get to you, it's going to look worse on you.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Um, Completely agree. And the history of the NFL topic here, or just the NFL topic in general, I wanted to also quickly bring up, if you don't mind,
Hmm.
one more thing with is I don't know if you saw this. Bleacher Report released a top 99 quarterbacks of all time list.
Oh no.
They did this in the past week,
Okay.
and there was some interesting stuff in this one. Um, Ryan Tannehill made it to number 99 all time. Um, I don't know how you feel about Ryan Tannehill being in the top.
Uh,
99 quarterbacks is a lot.
yeah.
It truly is. And I think that's why he squeaked his way in.
Yeah.
Um, but we have Derek Carr at number 77, Dante Culpepper at 78, just to name a
Okay.
few. Alex Smith ranked ahead of both of those guys at 76.
Okay.
Um,
Uh,
Jalen Hurts
uh,
made the list,
yeah.
75.
Okay. Brad Johnson, 85. I'm surprised he's up there that pretty high. Won a Super Bowl,
Kirk,
but you know.
yeah, Brad Johnson being in there. Kirk Cousins is in there at 71.
Oh, I just
Um,
saw this one, 74. Jeff Garcia.
oh yeah, good old Jeff. Yeah, how about that? I think the biggest thing here is Dak Prescott making it at number 59 all time,
Dang.
ahead of Kirk Cousins. Do you agree with that?
Ahead of Kirk Cousins. Maybe, but I
Okay.
see he's ahead of Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow, 66. I don't
Yeah,
agree with that.
one, me neither. One made it to a Super Bowl, the other
Hmm.
hasn't.
Yeah.
I also don't agree with, well, I think it's the success he's had on his teams, but Goff ahead of Burrow at
Yeah.
63.
Yeah. Like I said, I think I'd put Jared Goff ahead of Prescott as well.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Dang, Tony Romo, 57. I see him there. That's not bad.
Carson Palmer.
Carson Palmer, he didn't do as much. Pro Bowler, but after that playoffs, that team never really went anywhere.
Right. Phil Simms,
Oh,
44. Cam
50,
Newton, 43.
53, that's disrespect right there to Joe Flacco. Super Bowl winner, comeback player of the
Yep.
year, Super Bowl MVP. That's disrespect to my guy right there.
Yeah. No, I hear you on that one. Um, yeah. Randall Cunningham in there at 39. Man, he had a cannon back in the day.
Yeah.
Josh Allen, 35. You got to put Sam Darnold ahead of him, I hope. Where's Darnold at? I haven't seen him.
He might not even be on here.
Oh man, that would be so, this list.
Lamar Jackson, 28. Okay,
Yep.
I'm trying to see who else is above him.
It's
Let me
those
see.
MVPs. Russell Wilson's ahead of him. I don't know how you
Yeah.
feel about that.
I he's a Super Bowl champion,
Yeah.
been in many Pro Bowls, did a lot for that team. Eli Manning, like I said, I'm okay with him above. Dan Fouts, Hall of Famer. I don't know.
Yep.
Like I said
Big
Jim
Ben,
Kelly,
16.
Jim Kelly at least made it to the Super Bowls.
Yep. Otto
Warner.
Graham.
I
Johnny
don't think we're gonna
Unitas.
see Sam Darnold not being on this list. Travesty.
Absolute travesty. And I hope it was made prior to the Super Bowl because he's a far better quarterback than Ryan Tannehill
Hmm.
at 99. He's put him above Cousins. I think you put him above both Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
Hot take. Dan Marino at 10's too low for him, if you ask me.
Yeah.
Steve Young at 9. Drew Brees at 8. Favre. I would switch Favre, in my opinion. That might be a hot take, but I'd put Favre at 10 and Marino at 7, or
Huh.
even Steve Young above Favre.
Yeah.
Elway. Rodgers at 5.
That is that high for Rodgers?
It
Great,
feels like
great
it.
player. I feel like it's a little high. But like I said, Pro or Hall of Famer for sure. Might be first ballot. What he did for Green Bay, but after his Green Bay time, it's just like those stats should just bring your ranking down.
Yeah. Do you feel like he's playing himself out of kind of like his stature of what he's developed in his career?
I, I think he might play himself out of a first round ballot Hall of Famer. But
Uh-huh.
I think still he's on that edge right now because like I said, what he did with Pittsburgh, at least getting them into the playoffs could help sort of bring it back after his time in New York.
Sure.
But yeah, it hasn't helped since he left Green Bay. I
Yeah.
think once he left Green Bay, that's sort of a lot of downhill. He should have just retired and he would have been a first ballot by now.
Yeah.
Uh,
Mahomes at 4 too high?
uh, with what he's done, no.
Yeah.
I have Manning in front of him. Joe Montana. Yeah, I have him in
Yeah.
front. And then Tom Brady, the GOAT.
See, we talked about this with Montana and Mahomes,
Hmm.
and we both said he's ahead of Mahomes. And
Yeah. Bleacher Report agrees.
here you have a major media outlet saying the
Yeah.
same thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Would you look at that?
I think what Montana did was a lot better. Didn't lose
Yep.
in the playoffs. Um,
Different side of football. You can't really look at stats per se during that time.
mhm.
But the model of football and the way he did it, like, yeah, incredible.
Yeah. But yeah, no Sam Darnold at all. Let me
Questionable.
see. February 17th, 2026, after the Super Bowl.
Yep. It's a crime.
This Bleacher Report has let me see.
Put Jalen Hurts in there. I
Well,
don't know.
if they do this next year, Sam Darnold should be at least in the top 90, right?
At least. I think you put him top 50.
Top 50. Ooh,
I think you put
okay.
him top 50. Yeah. Who's 50? Who
Let's see.
is ranked 50? If I think that they're better and ranked 50, then I will say yes.
Um,
We'd be putting them above
Rich Gannon.
both Flacco. Oh. Eh. Top 75.
Let's see.
Oh man. But
I think he's better than Bledsoe.
uh-huh.
I think he could be better than Bledsoe. Flacco, I don't think he's better. I think him and Flacco are at par right now.
I think he's
And
better than Joe Theismann.
yeah, Andrew Luck better than Andrew Luck. Like I say, Andrew Luck, if he would have stayed playing, probably would have had a Super Bowl by now.
Yeah.
Um,
Maybe the thing is the MVP thing.
yeah,
You're looking at like Steve McNair
yeah,
won an MVP, Theismann won one. The accolades
yeah,
are a bit better. I think you put
yeah,
him maybe top 75.
yeah. Top 75. I think he's better than
It's,
Mark Burnell.
yep. Better than Romo? Romo's
Almost.
high. Romo's
Romo's,
high.
I feel Romo's high, but like I say, Dak Prescott's high. It must have been a Cowboy fan that did this ranking.
Had to have been. Had to have been. Yeah. Uh, I don't know.
Yeah,
Interesting list.
yeah. Interesting list. A lot of already names we don't agree with. It's very cool that, like I say, a lot of people, when we did our little take of Mahomes or Montana, people disagreed with us, and Bleacher Report agrees with us. Above him.
Yep.
So yeah, that's a good one. All right. But those are our banter takes. Agree or disagree, drop your thoughts in the comments. We want to hear where you stand on this week's banter takes. And we'll go into some Olympic talk. So there's a lot of Olympics this week. Olympics have ended, and some of the big news. These were the most watched Winter Olympics since 2014, with a 96% increase than Beijing. So big year for Winter Olympics. I watched a lot more this year. I think a lot of stuff, a lot of the sports were so memorable, so much excitement going on that people were watching. Uh, Very successful year for them.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think that this year for Winter Olympics, I was definitely a lot more tuned in with everything that was going on. Became familiar with, the ins and outs of a lot of these sports that they compete in, a lot of these athletes, certainly introduced to quite a few new ones.
Mhm.
The talk around it was phenomenal. I think that the way it ended was phenomenal with, men's and women's hockey was
Hmm.
just great. Um, and I enjoyed the controversy. I think the
Hmm.
controversy was very entertaining as well. Um, we talked about curling, we talked about how people thought about Eileen Gu, but stuff like that altogether, it's it's gathering more attention for these games, kind of makes you think about what's ahead. I think the next one is in the Alps, right?
Hmm. French Alps.
So not going far.
Huh?
You're just going up north just a tad. And yeah, I think that's a great setting for the next one. Then the
Hmm.
US gets the following Winter Olympics 2034.
Hmm.
So some exciting, rounds ahead. But this is great. I think that this Olympics was a great filler in a rather dull part of, at least American sports,
Hmm.
especially with the way basketball's been lately. Um, it's been great. Yeah,
Yeah.
I loved it. Thought it was a ton of fun.
Yeah. T Ton of fun, great competitions, great sports, and we'll go into a little bit of you mentioned it with what it closed out with one of the sports, men's hockey, gold medal match Sunday, electrical game. Connor Hellebuck, the goalie for Team USA,
Oh,
some some of the best performance I think for from a goalie, and someone who is just getting into hockey this last year. Uh, Guy that everybody's going to remember his performance. Amazing from him.
absolutely. Yeah, no, uh, Jack Hughes,
Hmm.
came up huge in this Olympics. Late goal in this match was absolutely phenomenal. Canada's saltiness is what I feel like is really getting on the news. Is to be specific, Nathan McKinnon.
Hmm.
Um, dude, you had penalty time. You
Hmm.
had the advantage for several minutes. You guys couldn't do anything. And
No.
then him of all people to say, you be the judge of who the better team was today, basically saying like Canada should have won, they were the better
Yeah.
team. Dude, why didn't you make that wide open goal? I think I could have made it. I think you could have made it. Um,
I'll question myself.
I think that you could have gotten a bit closer. I think you could
Yeah,
have at least hit the
yeah,
pole.
yeah,
But that was just a travesty. And for him to come out and say that, like, dude, that's just kind of embarrassing. Take
yeah.
your medal and move on.
Yeah, it's like there were so many opportunities for Canada to win this game with all their playoffs. What Team USA, killing the penalty, time. I what was it, like 18 plus minutes or something that they like killed Canada,
Yep.
penalty time. It's like it's a number that you wouldn't see in this type of situation. And I I've read and heard a little bit of like Canada and some people complaining of like the overtime in Olympic hockey compared to NHL going to 3v3 instead of 5v5. Um, it was
Hmm.
interesting to see, but still, it's like have your best three out there. Like I say, it's it's going to be 3v3 in OT. Pick your best three. That's what you got to do. That's what Team USA did, and hey, we were able to find a way. Like you say, Jack Hughes winning that game winner, and then just seeing the one picture of him with the flag on his back and him smiling with like his bloody face, bloody mouth, chipped tooth after that stick to the face. Like, man, hockey players are some of the toughest guys out there.
Oh, no doubt. Yeah. And then I really enjoyed the post-game interview shouting out Mike Tirico. They
Hmm.
were, sipping on the Mick Ultras.
Yeah.
I saw that in the presser. Hughes was at the corner, just pointing to his beer, asking for
Yeah.
one more. He was just winding him up. Phenomenal, well deserved, putting him back. And then I don't know if you caught this. Nothing, no more salt on the wound than getting handed two tiny stuffed animals, two little plushies. Team Canada, congratulations on the plushies. McKinnon
It's
looked pissed to get those plushies.
I think they were all pissed because like I say I think we first saw it with women's hockey because women's USA team also winning gold against women's Canada team, and you could see when they were giving them the stuffed animals, they were just like their face was like really, but they know they have to put on a good face and accept it. They can't just throw it because it is a little disrespectful.
Absolutely.
But it just yeah, that's salt on the wounds. Getting that, what they're gonna do with it, who knows? I'm curious what they do with it.
Yeah, I am too. I wonder if they leave them in the locker room. Maybe if
Maybe.
you hand them out, that'd be pretty cool. Resell them,
Hmm.
eBay, eBay, for those bad
Yeah.
boys. Um, Yeah, but yeah, what a rough last couple of weeks for Team
Hmm.
Canada in the Olympics, and then just Canada as a whole when it comes to sports. The close play at the plate being so close to winning a World Series,
Hmm.
game of inches, literally.
Yeah.
Dodgers getting them out at home plate, and then you go to the Olympics and you lose not one but two gold medal games to the U.S.
Yeah.
So. Um, I think we just took another sport from them,
Yeah.
hockey.
Yeah.
I think you can't look back. The exhibition was fun with the hockey World Cup that they had,
Mhm.
the hockey cup.
The four nations.
Four Nations wasn't the real deal. That was more of like a
Uh,
warm-up precursor for the
yeah.
Olympics. If you ask me, the Olympics are more important.
Yeah.
Cup was great. Four Nations was phenomenal. But
Yeah.
this takes
Yeah.
the cherry.
Yeah. The one thing I wish they could do in Olympic hockey is fighting. That's the one thing Olympic hockey that
Yeah.
you can't do. Uh, I think follow-up question. A lot of these players first game in NHL next week or this week, whenever they are, you gonna see some gloves getting thrown down.
Oh
Payback.
yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely. Who does Nathan McKinnon plays for the
Colorado
Avalanche?
Avalanche.
Avalanche, right?
Yeah.
What is his first game back? Let's
Uh,
see. Avalanche. Imagine it's against the Devils. New Jersey Devils goes up against Hughes.
Uh,
That would be so
Mammoth.
ironic.
They play Mammoth.
Ah,
Not that big of a game. Let's see
all
who on
right.
Team USA is on the Mammoth. I think they only had like one player from the Mammoth on. No, not even. Must have been an
Dang.
intern or
It's a new team.
Clayton Keller, a forward.
Well, if he's really wanting to go at it, he
Yeah,
could do that.
yeah,
Um, yeah, yeah, got the that's already in 2 days. Is he back in time for that? Probably, right?
yeah,
And then he's got Chicago Blackhawks and he's got the Ducks,
yeah.
Kings.
Kings.
Oh,
Yeah,
maybe some time. But sure could have woulda.
yeah,
Better luck in 4 years, bud.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. First win since the Miracle on Ice.
yep.
So like I say, big for USA hockey. I think I saw Ryan Whitney sort of say that this was a big win for Team USA because it really is going to help build up hockey in the US. And I agree. I think a lot of people were watching this and a lot of people saw how exciting, how fun it is. It's a dangerous sport for sure, but you're gonna see a lot more people out on the hockey rinks, roller hockey, ice hockey, and learning the game and building up Team USA to just be competitive, I think, for upcoming Olympics in the future, not having to wait almost 20 plus years for us to win another gold.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, I completely agree with Whitney. I think that it's a he nailed it. I think that this is going to be a big inspiration, especially in those cold weather states. It's a little bit maybe more pronounced. I sent you
Mhm.
a video of this guy that was watching like I think 7-year-olds play hockey, and
Oh
he was
yeah,
filming them. And the kid's move was
those kids
just
are
ridiculous.
crazy.
Dude, I didn't know there was a fadeaway shot in hockey, but that kid did it, and
Yeah,
it was unreal. But I don't know if you caught it, but one of the kids playing defense even tried to swat the puck down. I've seen that, you can use
yeah,
it, put a mid on it. Um, but man, like, just even the reaction of the kid trying to do that, I was
yeah,
impressed. And that
yeah,
wasn't even, the biggest thing, but him to hurdle a defender and, go through all that, simply incredible. Simply
yeah.
incredible. I am trying to look up that quote by Mike Tirico because he said it great at the end of the Olympics.
Mhm.
Um, I don't know if I'm going to be able to find it. But he basically, was summarized to summarize. He basically said, oh, here you go. Our country loves sports and it brings us together unlike anything else. He encouraged young viewers saying, so for all of the young people out there, those dreams are formed now. Go chase them and go get them. I feel
Mhm.
like that's, to kind of pair with what Whit has
Mhm.
to say about, Americans with hockey. It's exactly this. No matter the sport, chase the dreams, go out and do it, work hard,
Mhm.
and you can fulfill that dream because everybody who's competing now was in their shoes once upon a time,
Mhm.
hoping to
Yeah.
get there, and here they are.
Yeah. Yeah. And then a player like Austin Matthews, I saw has some Mexican heritage in him. So, this is also
Oh,
going to build up hockey in Mexico. I saw a clip of I think it's like teenage girls, but they, from Mexico playing hockey in Mexico. So it's already
super cool.
building up in Mexico. So that's a team to maybe be on the lookout for. And the next, it's going to take quite a few years, maybe by when we're back here in Salt Lake for the Olympics 2034, we might see a Mexican national team representing hockey.
That'd be phenomenal. And then, you did bring up Hispanic, Latin countries, maybe curling. You
Really?
mentioned it. You called it.
They should
You
be.
called your shot. You called your shot, John.
Yeah.
Let's see it.
They
Oh
should be
man.
there. So, but yeah, men's hockey was some big talk this week. More news from the Olympic. Some info on Lindsey Vonn. Her sort of reporting that after that post, after her last crash a few weeks ago, she had surgery immediately right after, and I think she had multiple surgeries on her leg. But her saying that, her going straight to surgery right after that pretty much saved her leg. You know, she was at the edge of possible amputation of the leg after that break she had. So, you know, glad to hear she didn't have to amputate. It's going to be a long recovery for her, but this is a legend for the future that people always talk about. And like I say, her just going out there with no ACL, just, you know, you could say a little dumb, but kudos to her because, like I say, it's what you put for these type of sports.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I uh yeah, I feel like sorry, I kind of lost my train of thought with this one. Yeah, with Lindsey Vonn, have you seen the device that's attached to her leg that she, got air flighted back to the States with? It's a something that I guess kind of, you mentioned, surgery saved her leg from possible amputation. But I also follow this guy. He's great for fantasy football stuff. I'll try to look up his name as I talk about him. But he's on TikTok. He kind of discussed, the injury Lindsey Vonn had, but also, kind of referenced some video that was put out there. The device that's attached to her leg is pretty large. Like
Hmm.
it's kind of like, this metal, and it keeps the bones in formation to heal properly and in, correct alignment, because of the type of break it was, I guess. But she had to be air flighted back with that. And
Hmm.
then supposedly that has to remain on her leg for, like, she's going to be bedridden. From what I've heard, a range of like 3 to 6 months.
Dang.
And then you start your rehab. Um, Incredible. Like it's amazing, what modern medicine and what doctors are able to do.
Hmm.
Truly a blessing. But man, it's going to be a long recovery.
Yeah.
And I know you kind of prefaced, I think last week before, about her kind of wanting to possibly still pursue the Olympics in the future.
Hmm.
I think this is something that's kind of a career ender. Like it's got to
Yeah.
be, that paired with, her competitive age. Um, it's just too much. Like
Yeah.
it's crazy.
Yeah, I think how bad of an injury this was and how close she came from amputation. I don't think I think reality setting in for her that she's officially done from competitive skiing and doing what she was doing. Like I think she'll still be able to go out skiing, but you know, has to be very careful and not go too crazy because like I say, that leg, who knows how it's gonna recover, how sensitive it could be. It might be made out of metal and she'll be unstoppable, but still, you know, I can only imagine, man, being bedridden for 6+ months, how much muscle mass you're gonna lose. That
Yep,
recovery is just gonna take years to get better.
absolutely. Yeah, no, you got to think now between the next Winter Olympics, 4 years, you
Mhm.
got to think at least half of that's going to be rehab.
Yeah.
And then
Hmm.
you get back into it and it's like, rehab's one thing. It's like can the speed in which she would go down the slopes, man, like,
Yeah.
not only physical, but you got to think of like the mental hurdles you got to go
Hmm.
through to do that.
Yeah.
But what am I saying? She's the one that, was going and doing that off of, a torn ACL. Like,
Yeah.
obviously she's built different.
Yeah.
And maybe that's a non-factor to her and it's just the physical side of it. But
Yeah.
crazy,
Yeah.
glad she was able to save her leg, but
Yeah.
that's a brutal recovery
Yeah.
from what it looks
Yeah.
like.
Yeah. Well wishes to her and her recovery journey. I think she'll be posting about it. I follow her, so you know I'll continue seeing some of that stuff. But yeah, wishing
Yeah,
the best to her because, like I say, Olympic, athlete that we're all gonna always talk about year after year at the Winter Olympics and bring back her clips because of what she's done. Um,
totally.
and then this next athlete too, Johannes Klæbo,
Oh, yeah.
winning 6 gold medals in this Winter Olympics for cross country skiing. And that's that one clip of that one guy going up the skiing, up the hill, Tim, that you always liked.
Dude.
Guy's a beast, man. Guy's a beast,
Uh,
because how fast he was going and just breaking records. Shout out to him, winning that many gold medals, man.
yeah. 6 from this Olympics altogether,
Mhm.
11 all time for him. Um, I heard somebody say it. I want to say it was maybe part of my take. They said he looked like one of those Boston Dynamics dogs going up that hill, and I thought that was a perfect reference the way he was moving. Um, Absolute freak. And if I had to say that anybody who competes in like, the competitive skiing that he does, the freestyle,
Yeah.
to have a name of Johannes Clabo, I would say, yeah, that dude, you know, just destroys his competition and yeah, a 10K freestyle
Yeah.
or the 20 kilometer skiathlon.
Yeah.
Um, Downright outrageous. Um, the endurance you need to go uphill doing that,
Yeah.
um, incredible. And I think he was winning his first gold medals at as a late teenager, right? Like
Yep.
18, 19.
Yeah.
Man, good Lord. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, to come home though with 6 gold medals,
Yeah.
like you're beating so many countries with
Yeah.
just those 6.
Yeah.
So
It's
historical.
it's like Michael Phelps type of winning,
Oh
when
yeah.
Michael Phelps was winning gold after gold. So, doing it in the Winter Olympics, and like I say, not saying what Michael Phelps did wasn't amazing, but what this cross country skiing is, how much you have to go and how fast you have to go in snow in skis. Shout out to him, man, because this guy was killing it. I don't think we'll ever reach those type top speeds that he does, or even be able to last a mile with him.
No, no, absolutely not. Maybe I don't even think we could last 10 feet.
Nah.
I just think his start would be outrageous.
Yeah.
He's only 29. He's going to keep competing, I'm
Yeah.
sure. Um, Man, I wonder what the average age is for competing in his sport. Like, I'm guessing he can probably go 2 more Olympics, if I had to guess.
Yeah.
Like, you could probably go mid to late 30s.
I've seen and I don't know. It's something I'll look up, in the future in a few days. It seems like Winter Olympic athletes could range a lot older because, like I said, bobsled athletes are a little older.
Hmm.
The American we talked about last week that won her first gold in mono bobsled, she was like 41. We saw. I don't think we talked about it here, but I sent you the video of the downhill snowboarder that was 41. A father.
Oh, yeah.
I think there was a mother-son duo competing in the same sport,
Hmm.
winning, or I don't know if they won, but just competing in the same sport, in their genders. I think it's one you could do a long time, and I think Johannes, if he keeps up his endurance, he might be competing into his 40s.
Yeah, I could definitely see that happening. I'm just looking through all of his races. Like,
Yeah,
he's finished first in so many races.
yeah,
I mean, dear Lord. Like, just even
yeah,
non-Olympic stuff, he's
yeah.
outrageous.
Yeah. Yeah, I think one of the things I was going to mention, uh, medal count Norway I think was first with the most amount of medals. Uh, so if you want to get into the Winter Olympics, maybe move to Norway, become a dual citizen, get the training there because they're doing something's in the water there to get you to the Winter Olympics.
Yeah. Yeah. See if they might be able to rename you with some badass
Yeah.
Norwegian skiing name.
Have that little like cross in the O or like the two dots
Yeah.
above a letter. It has to be like Hoth.
Yeah, exactly. Just yeah. Like if you could reword the name badass in Norway in
Yeah.
Norwegian, just yeah, something sick. Man, that guy's a beast.
Yeah. No, that guy was a beast. And then, like I mentioned, Norway taking the most amount of medals, but I think the big talk was just how many medals USA got and how many of them were so memorable. Because like I say, from hockey to some bobsled ones um I think the big ones were figure skating, a
Hmm.
lot of figure skating golds for Team USA and just what they put out in dominating. Um, I think it's the big story and and I saw, top 10 medal counts. Canada's not up there, so Canada has to, I would have expected Canada to be like top three, top four, their Canada winter type environment.
Yep.
They got to step it up.
Yeah, they do. They do. They got to come out, and just be guns a-blazing in the next Winter Olympics because this was a down year for them.
Hmm.
They have the colder weather year round. We have states like Florida or California that, remain hot. So kind of,
Yeah.
little disadvantage,
Yeah.
for Winter Olympics. So, but we make the best of what we got, and
Hmm.
yeah, just Norway. Norway took the cake though, man.
Yeah.
They were not messing around.
Yeah. No, they weren't. So, overall, great Winter Olympics. I think it's getting us prepped for the World Cup coming up in June. Yeah, I think it's June that we start the World Cup.
Mhm.
And then in a few years, LA Summer
2 years, right?
Olympics. 2
2028.
years, 2028 Summer Olympics here in LA, which will be exciting. Um,
Oh yeah.
but yeah, that's all I got for Olympics. Anything else, Tim? Last one actually. Eileen Gu, winning a gold. So sort of shoving those comments of you've only won silver, did win a gold.
There you
So,
go.
sort of just rubbing that in some people's face. Kudos to her. Like I say, she'll be out here for many more Olympics as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Still very young. Cashed in very nicely, on these
Yeah.
Olympics as well. Got,
Yeah.
taken home quite the bundle of cash. So good
Yeah.
for her. Well deserved. And then I guess the other thing was Ilya's the Olympic Gala performance.
Hmm.
I thought that was phenomenal.
Yeah.
I know you shared a video with me. I shared one with you, and the best word I could say is just wow.
Yeah.
It was a great performance, great song selection in my opinion.
Hmm.
The outfit that was brought out, just I feel like this generation, finding a way to implement a hoodie sweatshirt into a
Yeah.
performance for figure skating. Um,
Yeah.
Great. And
Yeah.
I feel like that was a really good rebound and kind of I didn't know about this Olympic gala. I think
Hmm.
that's, a good way to kind of build up that confidence,
Hmm.
hopefully for him, for future Olympic Games. Knowing that, it was a bit disappointing for Ilya, but that performance was phenomenal. We got to see the flip. That was
Yeah.
super cool. But yeah, amazing
Yeah.
performance.
Did you see some of the couple performances?
I
Some of
didn't.
there's
No.
some spins that like when and I'll always refer to this just because I enjoy, we talked about it, stupid comedies, Blades of Glory, because I think it was like,
Ah.
I don't know if she was on his neck, but he was turning and it was just Blades of Glory type of twists and turns, but like I said, they're actual things that actually happen. And I saw another video. Oh, I don't know if I liked it. I'll look for it, but there was a video on TikTok where one of the figure skaters didn't move, and then that Leonardo DiCaprio meme where it's like "Tut, tut," like where you see something
Oh yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
that meme, it goes to that meme, and then it goes to Blades of Glory because the move is the same type of move that John Heater does in Blades of Glory, that like snips Will Ferrell beard.
The
It's like
band
that's,
one.
yeah. Yeah, so it was amazing. I'll see if I could find it again, but I thought it was, I cracked up when I saw that.
Man, so good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Figure skating was great.
Yeah. But like I said, we learned a lot about figure skating. So I think we'll be very ready for the next Winter Olympics. But
Yep.
next Winter Olympics, prep your condoms stash too.
Oh
Up it
yeah.
to 20K. But 10K you saw this year wasn't enough. 20K might be that perfect number. Be safe, 30K. It's okay. Be
Yeah.
safe.
Just be safe. Yeah, it's okay. I'm sure
Uh,
you can mass produce those bad boys.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Make the pile a bit bigger.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's Olympic talk. Next we'll go into just this new take thing we're gonna try. We call it Unk Talk. So I'll let Tim share a little bit about it.
Yeah. Excuse me. So, figured, this Unk Talk, you and I, John, both, fathers to kiddos. We're in our 30s now. Yeah, I think we're just, we're getting to our unk days. And, at times I find myself going and venturing onto Urban Dictionary to figure out what the hell that means. And, that's kind of what this is what the hell does that mean? So, we kind of have this like set of, yeah, it looks about, I had my wife make this list for us. And we're going to try to work our way through what we think some of these things mean. I have a decent understanding at maybe a couple of them based off of previous conversations,
Hmm.
but figure this would be a fun activity to stay
Yeah.
relevant with younger generations. So,
Okay.
first one, some of these have to do with streamers. Clavicular is one that, he's become very, I don't know if you've heard of him.
Hmm.
He's just become, quite the figure. And
Yeah.
I guess, he's come under some scrutiny with this first term, frame mogged. Don't know if you've heard this one.
Frame mod,
Frame mogged. Two
mogged,
G's.
frame,
Mogged.
frame mogged. All right. I'm gonna frame and then
Yep.
mogged. I have no idea what mogged is, honestly. I'm blanking right now. I'm thinking they're talking about someone with glasses just because of the word frame is my guess.
Okay. Yeah,
Uh,
no. It's a good guess. And then, did you want to take a stab at Mogged?
um, I think it's just a look. It must be like based off looks or something. Just a mog look, like moshy, green look, like nature type thing. I don't know.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I think you're on the right track there. I don't have definitions for these. We can look them up as we go as well. But frame mogged, I do have what I believe it is
Uh-huh.
the frame. So a person's stature,
Okay.
and so mogging though. And mogging will be another term. So I guess we
Yeah.
can kind of combine these two.
Uh,
So mogging is, I believe, the breakdown of somebody's biological look
okay.
and
Yeah.
basically what makes them up as a human. Somebody with maybe a built stature, a good frame,
Yeah.
pronounced shoulders, strong, I don't know, maybe pronounced facial features, I believe is what mogged is. And then you kind of equate that. And
Yeah. Okay.
frame, I believe, is what Kulvictor ran into is he was straight up frame mogged. And destroyed by an ASU frat leader. And dude was just ripped. Great workout plan for the young buck. But he was in the back of the video of Clavicular and was just the stature difference was hilarious because he takes it so serious and was kind of put down by that. I'm not an avid watcher of Clavicular, but of course on
No,
social media, like anybody else, I
he
see
pops
his
up.
stuff. He
It pops
pops up.
up. Yeah,
Um,
it makes
yeah,
sense. I can see it now. The frame, your body frame, and then Mog. I looked it up. Slang for outpower, dominant visually.
okay.
So it's sort of body structure. So it's yeah. The way I think of it, I'm looking in sports. Almost like Shaq and Nate Robinson.
Good
Shaq
one.
frame mogged, Nate. Aaron Donald probably frame mogs everybody in the NFL because probably
Makes
people
sense.
don't think he's that big, but that dude's a beast. Um, but
I would
yeah.
say Aaron Judge, Frame Moggs, Bartolo Colon.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That's a good one too.
Yeah, love Bartolo Colon. He
Oh
just
yeah.
anybody can do it.
Oh.
Just great guy. Um, Next one,
Uh,
vantage points. I feel like we
yeah.
know this from nature. You want to go find a good vantage point to, I don't know, just be on the lookout.
I'm gonna do it like a spelling bee. Can I use it in a sentence? Can I get it in a
Yeah,
sentence, please?
country of origin.
What stream did this come from?
Yeah, exactly.
Vantage point. I'm thinking it's just like a location, like Like we had a great vantage point, like a great seat. I don't know, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna reiterate that one. I agree. I think it's got to do something with maybe it's when you're taking a video or a selfie, the
Hmm.
vantage point of the direction of where you're taking that photo or video. You have to
Hmm.
have a good vantage point to make yourself look great. I'm
Okay.
sure we've all pulled up our phone and it's on
Yeah.
selfie mode and we're like, oh,
Okay.
what the fuck? Not a good vantage point. Maybe you need
Yeah.
to raise the phone a bit and,
Yeah.
not capture my double chin. Um, Things are a bit better. But I will look that one up as we are here. Let's see.
Yeah.
Vantage point. And let's see. I'm on Urban Dictionary, see if it gives me any details here. Uh Nope, not seeing it. Don't even know if Urban Dictionary has it. I'm going to stick with that one. Correct
Yeah.
us if we're wrong. Um, Next one, look maxing.
Look, maxing.
Yeah,
The
look maxing.
what the heck are these kids coming up with nowadays?
This is so great.
I'm thinking this is someone that just buys expensive clothes and is trying to look like their max, so buying knockoff stuff.
Yeah, I think so, right? Now I've had it where Jen has taken a photo of me, uploaded it to ChatGPT, and asked my age and what might make me look a bit younger or,
Oh,
a little
okay.
bit more spruced up. I think I was wearing like a black hoodie that day and a hat. Said, they said like darker clothing can kind of make you look older or something like that. And I'm like, I'll stick with my black attire
Yeah.
usually. Feel like it looks slimming for dad bod season. Um, I have a feeling look maxing is like you said, just looking your fullest potential
Uh-huh.
by, I don't know, from the hair to the clothing you're wearing. Is my guess.
Yeah.
Look maxing. Maximize your looks.
That's my guess, yeah.
Okay. Um, yeah, and again, audience, correct us if we're wrong. Love to hear it. Um, yeah, okay, yeah, here we go. It says mewing. Mewing, isn't that the face where like you suck in your cheeks a bit or like your lower chin? Try to do the duck face. And just yeah, it says something about Riz in here. God, I'm so old. Like it's so hard to keep up with this stuff. Next, subhuman. Is that just somebody that you think looks not their best that day? And like,
Uh-huh.
like it sounds like bullying. Like it's a bullying term.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah,
So,
no,
sounds like
subhuman
a
here.
robot to me, subhuman.
Oh yeah, that could be it. Looking a bit robotic that day.
Maybe a bit robotic. Maybe someone that just follows the rules, because they're just like,
Oh
some like I don't know. They're not unique, so it's just like almost that somewhat human but also a robot rule follower or something like that is my guess.
yeah. Oh, you got your regular human beings. This is from Urban Dictionary. Some may annoy you, and you're indifferent about most. So basically, you maybe you're going against like the norm.
Okay.
So like you're a little different, like you have different opinions. I don't
Yeah.
know. Um, we'll leave it here. I got one more. Um, Bone smashing. I think I have a good idea on this one, but bone smashing.
Bone smashing?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a hard. I don't think it's like smashing bones, like actual bones. I,
Yep.
I, it's where I would sort of go first. Um, that's a hard one. Bone smashing. I'm gonna go a little inappropriate. So you're just going through your roster. Got a roster of ladies and men and just bone smashing. Gonna
That's
say
great.
that.
Yeah.
I might be totally off.
Yeah. No, I like I see where you're going with it. What I think it might be, because maybe in our generation that makes a ton of sense.
Yeah,
It really does. It depends. Some of these I feel like you can depict based off of generations, but what I
yeah.
think this one might be is in relation to the look maxing
Hmm.
is the bone smashing is like I think like you like try to like almost break your bones to get them more pronounced.
You
Like
serious?
I think it's the fact of breaking down your bone for it to regenerate bigger. Like if you want your upper cheeks to look more pronounced,
Oh, okay.
you hit them and then like kind of like boxers. Like, you get like punched a whole bunch, but then
Oh,
like, it comes back and your skin is more durable.
oh, okay.
Maybe even like I've seen videos of, people are like, oh yeah, you gotta like start punching a brick wall a few times a day and then your knuckles are gonna get really strong.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of like that.
Oh, okay.
I think.
First of all, who's crazy enough to do that? Their surgery makes it a lot easier than breaking your face to do
Yeah.
that.
Yes.
But that makes I wouldn't have expected it to be that, but now it makes total sense because these kids nowadays are crazy.
Yep.
And like I say, it does make sense. You know, if you break a bone and you just let it heal naturally, it develops a little differently. It can be bigger. Yeah, yeah, I guess.
Can you help your buddy out with this one? Like just take turns punching each other in the face
Yeah,
and be like, yeah,
it
dude, right here this
yeah.
time.
It's almost like UFC fighter boxers with the cauliflower ear. You know, they get hit a
Oh
lot
yeah.
in the ear, so it just expands, and eventually, gotta either get it surgically fixed or get blood out, or it just stays that way. So,
Yep.
okay,
Yeah, absolutely.
makes crazy.
Yeah. And then I don't know if you've seen I know that in the that rom-com, I keep forgetting the name of that freaking film. That I saw with it was part of my little movie thing that we did. The surgery with the legs. It
Oh,
was
the
Pedro Pascal,
materialist.
Materialist. Pedro Pascal's character did this surgery where I don't know if you've seen the show on people that are, might feel too short, that they break their legs and then put these extensions
Mhm.
within their legs to increase their height.
Their height.
And I've seen this guy on TikTok. I don't know his name. Um, and he went from like 5'9", and I think he's 6'4" now. He's had the
God,
surgery like
damn.
3 times. Um, he, can, he has like it's a struggle to walk. Like it's like you got to kind of weigh it out, I feel like a lot
Uh,
because I it's probably a very new surgery if
mhm.
I were to guess. And then you got to think about proportions as well. It's like, somebody who's, a little bit shorter will have a smaller shoe size comparative to somebody who's a little bit taller will
Yeah,
have a bigger shoe size. But you're not breaking your feet to make those bigger, so it's
yeah,
like, you know, some humans are at the height that they're made to be, and that's it.
yeah,
But yeah, just
yeah.
talk about modern medicine.
Uh,
You know,
if you need to go from 5'9" to 6'4", something's wrong up there because I'm 5'5". I'm never gonna try to grow again and try to do that. I don't care.
yep.
I don't mind being a short king, considered short. People making fun of me for my height. That's insane. Because like I say, the confidence you have to need to grow, your self-esteem, work on that because that's what you need to do. So kids,
Oh,
don't
for
be doing
sure.
doing that. Work on your mental health. It'll make you feel a lot taller and a lot bigger.
There you go. That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
Everybody's God's gift. Love
Yeah.
yourself, and I think you'll make it through. But yeah, no, that's just on the topic
Yeah,
of bone smashing. I think I don't
that's
know if that
crazy.
has any relation to it. It is crazy. But yeah, I think that's pretty much the list for
Okay.
now. We could probably continue on with more of these in the future. Figure we could
Yeah.
do this time to time. Fun little activity. Unk Talk. We're trying to keep up with younger generations
Yeah.
with vocabulary.
Yeah. See what they're talking about every now and then. But yeah, no, that's a good one. Uh just
Probably
to
so
end
far
off,
off.
yeah, probably really far off. Probably not going to be our most popular segment of the show,
Yeah,
but it's okay.
right, exactly.
But we'll go into our eliminate one activity. We've been doing this a bit, especially with sports being a little slower, coming up with a list of five and then having each other sort of eliminate one that we wouldn't want. Um, and I don't know, you want to start, Tim, or
Yeah, I'll start with mine for you.
okay,
Let me find it here. Okay. So, eliminate one.
okay,
Actors and actresses edition.
okay.
Eliminate one of these five all-time greats. Starting with Denzel Washington. Next up, we have Robert De Niro. Next up, we have Meryl Streep. Next up, we have Leonardo DiCaprio. And the last one is Tom Hanks. Powerhouse of a list.
That's a way too. This one's a tough one.
You're a movie savant of the show, John.
Yeah,
Figure this one would really spice it up for you.
yeah. All right, so I'll start off. I can't eliminate Denzel. I really like all the movies he's done from like Training Day to to just everything I've seen him in, just his acting. Man on Fire is like one of my top movies ever, and what he did as that character, amazing. I think they've made a TV show out of it, and it just doesn't meet that expectation that Denzel had.
Mhm.
And like I said, Training Day, I think he was nominated. He might have won an Oscar for um Training Day. Let me look it up.
I think that might be right.
Um, yeah, best actor for Training Day, best supporting actor. Glory's another good movie. In a lot of great movies, Flight, Fences, Malcolm X. Just one of the top actors of many generations. Um, so I can't eliminate him. Uh, Next, I'm gonna keep Meryl Streep. I think the movies she has done as well have been so breakthrough and so memorable. And even the movies she's making nowadays still win a place in your heart, from Mamma Mia to Wears Prada. Another movie, if you talk to Vera, it's a movie I enjoy. I'll admit it. I enjoy that Devil Wears Prada movie. For some
Yeah.
reason, I'm excited about the second one coming out.
Mhm.
But Meryl Streep, her just resume of movies and just what she's done for so many years, um, you can't eliminate her, Um, I like all the movies she's done. And like I said, it's always a memorable person. Always, anytime she's nominated during award season, she mostly wins. And anytime she's in something, it gets very popular. Even to guest appearances on TV shows, everybody watches it. So
Mhm.
Meryl Streep, I don't think I could eliminate her out of here. I think one that I've always enjoyed of hers is The River Wild, the white water rafting movie. That's a great one
Okay.
if you haven't watched it. Um, so Meryl Streep, gotta keep her. Next, I I'm gonna keep Robert De Niro. I think same with him. But just the movies he's made from Goodfellas to Godfathers. Goodfellas, like I say, another movie. If you ask Vera, I watch it all the time. Goodfellas is an amazing movie. Taxi Driver, like I say, Godfather, Heat, The Intern, another movie I like to watch a lot. The one
Mhm.
with Anne Hathaway. Casino, another movie that if you ask Vera, I watch it so much.
Mhm.
And then his comedy too, I think is what I like. From Meet the Parents to Dirty
Oh
Grandpa,
yeah.
Meet the Fuckers,
So good.
great movies. Did. the cartoon movie Shark Tale, the one with
Okay.
Jack Black,
Oh yeah.
him in that as well. Like I say, his movie Silver Linings Playbook, another one, Las Vegas. Like I say, I could go on and on about movies this guy has made, um, and they're all great. I think like I say, in the way I'm thinking is I'm taking their whole movie catalog to a desert island, and that's all I have. I need to have Robert De Niro.
Yeah.
Um, this last one's tough because Leo has a lot of great movies, but Tom Hanks does as well. Um, eh, I just, I'm gonna have to do it. I think I'm gonna keep Tom Hanks. I
Okay.
think it's just
Wow.
from Forrest Gilmore, Forrest Gump to Castaway, Green Mile, Big, Saving Private Ryan, and all the Toy Stories, and
Mm.
like I say, even the new Toy Story
Mm.
coming out. Da Vinci Code is a series that I love to watch. Enjoyed it. Captain Phillips, um, like I say, Apollo 13. There's so many movies, and like I say, I think just what he's done, um, it's great. I can't eliminate that library out of my to go. Um, yeah, it would have to be Philadelphia, Elvis, Sully, Catch Me If You Can, like I say with Leo. Um, but yeah, I think Forrest Gump, Castaway, and Green Mile are the three that sort of keep me with him compared to Leo. And like I say, nothing against Leo. Love his movies that he's done. All his recent ones, Once Upon a Time, his Shakespeare one, from way back then. One Battle After Another was an amazing one. Revenant, Wolf of Wall Street's one I enjoy watching. Gatsby, Django, but yeah, I think I enjoyed Tom Hanks's library a lot more.
Yeah. Good breakdown, John. Very good. Um, yeah, I agree with the sentiment you gave each and every actor and actress in this. Because I'm not at the level of moving watching as maybe most are. I like my my core group
Hmm.
of actors and I kind of stick with it. I'm a big person on rewatching certain films,
Yeah.
not like repetitively, but more frequently, like it's an annual thing. And I kind of, I watch new films, but it's not a huge repertoire. When I have time to sit
Hmm.
down for a movie, it's typically one that, will make me crack up or one
Hmm.
that I found super interesting and, kind of kept me glued. Um, and out of the group, I do have a lot of interest in watching Devil Wears Prada too. I think I'm going to eliminate Meryl Streep, and I'm going to catch a lot of heat on that. Because I know how impactful she is as an actress and how incredible she is. I just haven't seen enough of her films. I feel like I've
Hmm.
seen more of the other actors in this group.
Hmm.
Um, but Mamma Mia, like frequently we're playing the Mamma Mia soundtrack in our car. Ariel or my daughter loves it, my wife does. But yeah, in I know of The Devil Wears Prada. I know, what a great film it was. I know the excitement around the next one coming out. And it's one that I want to watch, and I'm sure I'll change my mind after that. Um, but that's probably who I would eliminate, and it just strictly comes down to the amount of films
Hmm.
I've watched.
Yeah.
That I don't have enough of an opinion. Um, Probably a spicy hot take, but incredibly hot take. I know
Yeah.
how incredible she is. Um, but in a very close second, it would have been me eliminating Tom Hanks. I think because Toy Story, we're a Disney family.
Yeah.
How impactful Toy Story is. And then you
Yeah.
brought up Saving Private Ryan,
Hmm.
one of the best war movies of all
Hmm.
time, in my
It is.
opinion. Truly incredible. Forrest Gump, very quotable, a great film. And you can think of films like Castaway. You can think of, Sleepless in Seattle. I've
Hmm.
seen those movies. It's just, grew up a lot more around his films. And then I know you got down to Leonardo DiCaprio on this list too. Um, I couldn't eliminate him strictly mainly because of the Titanic. It's been a big film
Oh,
for
yeah.
my
Oh,
wife and
yeah.
I. And growing up, it was just one of those films that, like, you watched. I think it came out in what, 1995, if I'm not mistaken.
97.
97.
Hmm.
Where you and I, we were both young when it first released.
Yeah.
But like when you're young and you're watching something kind of traumatic, like that scene of the water enveloping the lower
Hmm.
part of the ship, and
Oh, yeah.
the family reading the nighttime story,
Yeah.
that stuck with me for a long time. I
Yeah.
was like, wow.
Yeah.
And then as you get older, you kind of realize like the love story that's attached to it.
Hmm.
I just thought the film was just downright phenomenal. Obviously, one
Yeah.
of the best of all time. Um, but yeah, I think that's just where I was at. And then, with Denzel, incredible films, movie after movie with him.
Hmm.
Even the clips that come up that, he has of various movies, it's just the way he acts.
Yeah.
I'm just glued. Like I cannot take my eyes off of it. I think that it's incredible. Remember the Titans is one of
That's
my
a good
all-time
one.
favorites.
Hmm.
And then Robert De Niro, like anybody who impersonates him is hilarious to me. Meet the Parents, Meet the Fockers, uh, incredible. The way he
Yeah.
talks about Jinxie. And
Yeah.
then of course, his old time Italian. You mentioned Casino. Um, Good stuff. Yeah. But yeah, hot take. Meryl Streep.
Yeah. Meryl
Sorry.
Streep.
I'll watch more of your films and I'll probably change my mind.
Eh. And like I say, I think that's what a lot of people that may respond to this may feel. It's like, you have to have watched a lot of Meryl Streep movies to sort of want to keep her.
Hmm.
Because like I say, if I wouldn't have watched as many as I have seen, I probably would have eliminated her and kept Leo because I've watched so many Leo movies, The Departed. It's one I still like to watch so much,
Oh,
an amazing movie. You
yep.
know, Catch Me If You Can, one with Tom Hanks as well. I enjoy so much to watch.
Hmm.
So like I say, I think with this one it gets tough. It's like it depends on how much of that actor you've seen, and like I say I've seen all these, and I think out of all of them I would keep them, and I would have to eliminate Leo, and a lot of people may not like that, but hey,
No
it's
matter
what
who
I got
you
to do.
chose, it's a hot take.
Yeah. Yeah. So the one I have for you, it stays with movies. It's gonna
Okay.
be like trilogy series. So
Oh,
we're
nice.
gonna do Star Wars, so all nine movies.
Okay.
The Dark Knight trilogy,
Okay.
Harry Potter, all the Harry
Okay.
Potters, Lord of the Rings,
Okay.
and then Avengers up to Endgame. So
Okay.
not anything after, like Tony Stark and that.
Got it. Okay. Um, So instantly Star Wars I cannot eliminate. So good. I'm even into the stupid TikTok AI version of Stormtroopers that I keep sending you. It's so good.
Yeah.
I just, the Star Wars, are we even including like the Disney Plus shows that they've included, like Mandalorian and
Well,
um,
it's more just a movie series, but like I say,
got
if
it.
if you look at everything, yeah,
It's all intertwined. But yeah, the films themselves, yeah, I can't trade them for anything. Phenomenal. We were at Disney this past week, and I joked with my wife about buying a Darth Vader helmet and how badass it would be, and if it had the voice changer in it,
Oh yeah.
and just how sick it would be. And then I just said, if the podcast takes off, we get a man cave one day. absolutely buying a Darth Vader helmet. Might even do a full podcast in it.
Yeah.
But at least having its own shrine.
Yeah.
I just think Darth Vader's so sick.
Yeah.
I just think it's awesome.
Hmm.
Nerd alert. But that's my thoughts on Star Wars. Cannot eliminate it. Next, Harry Potter. I always say you're a wizard, Harry. Love Harry Potter. Didn't get super into the books. Shame on me. Not a big reader, but the movies themselves, incredible. Love the films. The acting choices were always great. Fun, adventurous. Um, One of a kind type films.
Hmm.
Loved Harry Potter. Can't eliminate it. Big part of the childhood. Um, Next, Marvel, Avengers, up to Endgame. Cannot get rid of it. I even watched Endgame in the theater alone. Loner. I think wifey was visiting family and I was stuck in Arizona. But still made sure I saw it premiere weekend,
Yeah.
front and center. And it was great. It
Yeah.
was phenomenal. Certainly a film you can enjoy time after time. Um, Watching everybody team up, the
Hmm.
best.
Yeah.
Yeah, can't get rid of it. Then final two, we have Lord of the Rings, and what was the other one?
The Dark Knight trilogy.
Dark Knight trilogy. Um, I'm gonna keep the Dark Knight trilogy. I'm gonna keep that one and get rid of Lord of the Rings. I didn't, shame on me. I watched the first one, but didn't continue on. I didn't. Shame on me. I know. Audience is gonna kill me. That's why I'm not the savant. I'm more of just the little puppet
Yeah.
for movies. But I know how good Lord of the Rings is. And it's again another one that I need to go watch because I know it's phenomenal. I do know that.
Yeah.
But Dark Knight, uh, um, super sick.
Hmm.
I think that the way that they casted it was phenomenal. Um, the villains that were
Hmm.
chosen for the Dark Knight, like, just beginning with Heath Ledger as Joker, fucking, excuse my French, badass, best Joker of
Yeah.
all time. Can't replicate him.
Hmm.
Rest in peace, because God, he was the best.
Yeah.
The way he played that was just incredible. Super quotable again as a villain. Just put
Hmm.
a smile on that face.
Yeah.
Terrible react. But that and then Bane. You
Hmm.
can't tell me the Bane voice isn't sick. Like
No,
that's
that's
another
good.
badass one. Yeah, it's up there with Darth Vader in my opinion.
Yeah.
But just the fights that
Hmm.
Batman and Bane had, like breaking his back, like spoiler alert, was just so badass, dude. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, superhero
Okay.
films, super
Yeah.
cool. Loved it. Yeah, gonna stick with Dark Knight.
Okay. Yeah. That's like I say, I put this one because I know it was tough. It was tough for me just thinking about it as well because I'd keep Star Wars. It's just like you mentioned, everything Star Wars has done, and just the movie wise, I would say the first six are a lot better than the last three, but still, the
Yep.
last three were movies. Saw opening weekend, went to the theater, enjoyed it at first. Happy how it ended. Could have been better, but like I said, the original trilogy, 4, 5, 6, great. Uh, and then the prequel trilogy, 1, 2, 3, a lot of controversy, but like I mentioned, I saw the third one when they did the re-release last year, and movie theater packed. Everybody loves it. I think there was so much hate when it first came out, but a lot of people ended up loving it. Hayden Christensen, the actor that played Anakin, aka Darth Vader. Spoiler alert if you don't know yet. Too bad you just got spoiled. Um, like I say, full circle moment for him because, like I said, there was a lot of always smack talk towards him about his performance, but now it's one of the most iconic performances, and he's even replicated it in Obi-Wan, the TV show on Disney Plus. So Star Wars would be one I would keep. Next one, Avengers. I think just what Marvel did with the first few Avengers, amazing. Just from Iron Man, the first Iron Man to Endgame, and like you mentioned, the last Avengers movie, Endgame, seeing that in theater, that last scene where all the superheroes come out, how excited and pumped the crowd was. at every single movie theater. If you went to a movie theater and didn't experience that, I feel sorry for you. I feel bad for you.
Yep,
I apologize you
I
didn't.
agree.
But hopefully you did experience it that way. Just memorable for me. So I would have to keep that. Next for me is Lord of the Rings. I love the Lord of the Rings trilogy, even the Hobbit trilogy. Great movie. Peter Jackson created a masterpiece in this. I'm able to watch the 3 4 hour, uncut films that they released of the movie. Just great, memorable. The scenes, always, the just everything about the movie, the hobbits, the wizards, the Gandalf's, saying in the first one, towards the end, always quotable stuff,
Hmm.
so Lord of the Rings, I would have to keep, and this is where I sort of hit my like struggle of Dark Knight, Harry Potter. Um, in it's hard for me to eliminate one because like Harry Potter is a movie series that I watch probably during the holidays a lot because a lot of the movie sometimes is during Christmas. You always see the Christmas scenes in the movies. So
Yep.
it's like a Christmas type movie that I like to watch. And then The Dark Knight, like you mentioned, all the characters from Joker to Bane, Heath Ledger, and then even Christian Bale to what he brought to Batman, amazing. Um, and I'm gonna keep the Dark Knight. I'm gonna
Oh
have to keep the
yeah.
Dark Knight. I think just of how memorable the Dark Knight is to me, it is why I would keep it over Harry Potter, even though, like I said, Harry Potter's so quotable. Dobby, that scene just always tugs at your heart. The final movie too, the battle scenes were amazing, great, and just the story
Hmm.
overall, I think it's amazing. But I just enjoyed the Dark Knight movies a little bit more.
Yeah, I think the way that the villains were casted and how they were done
Hmm.
kind of gave an edge to villains that I feel like to the extent we haven't seen before because they
Yeah,
were a bit more ruthless,
yeah,
than your traditional villain at the time. And because superhero villains, always seem powerful at first, but then you find a weakness and blah blah blah. But at times it's like the way Joker was sneaky and did
yeah,
things, like you just thought it would never end. Like
yeah.
it's just how the hell are they going to get out of it? The twists that were brought in the movie, same thing with Bane. It's like, yeah, I felt like there's a different edge to them,
Hmm.
and I think that makes those films so much better. I also like how they are filmed with kind of like that darkness, you know, um, in the filming of it. I think that's kind of cool. Funny interaction though, just regarding Star Wars that I had over the weekend. Going back to the car at the end of the day, held the elevator for this couple that was trying to get up, and they said, "Oh, thank you, for letting us on." The guy said, even for a guy that's on the dark side, and I was like, I was like, oh, and then he was like, he had a lightsaber for the dark side. I think he had the
Yeah,
red one, and I was like, hey, I'm on the dark side as well. I'm
yeah,
right there with you. It's the more badass, side. And then
yeah,
he's like, yeah, he's like, he said, my boy, Darth Vader's been through a lot. And I was
yeah.
like, I was like,
He has
yes,
been. He's
you're
he's been through
right.
a lot.
I was like, Anakin went through it.
Yeah,
He's burned up by the lava. That was
yeah.
brutal. So shout out that guy. That was real funny. I thought about that for like 5 minutes
It's,
after leaving
it's,
the elevator because I've never heard somebody say my boy Vader's been through a lot. And I
uh,
thought that was great.
yeah.
Well put.
Yeah, well put. If you look at the perspective, being burnt, single dad out there working with children that are just not supporting him, not listening to him, opposite of him, and then full at the end coming together. So, he went through a lot, lost some limbs as well, I think.
Oh yeah, big
So
time. Yeah.
Oh
He was
yeah.
really skewered. It was bad. Yeah.
Ah,
Probably, deserved it.
yeah.
But, you can say he went through a lot.
Yeah,
So,
he did.
yeah, funny way to put it, though. I'm
It
gonna use that.
is.
That was really good.
That's a good one. But yeah, but that's our eliminate one segment. Like I said, let us know what you think of who we eliminated. Like I say, agree or disagree. Let us know who you think and why. We're always curious. We do these lists and you can see I think this week we've had opposites for both of our
Yeah.
lists. Sometimes we're on par with the same people, sometimes we're different. And like I say, it's based off what we know, our experience, our what you could call our expertise. But yeah,
Mhm.
and that's it for today. Thank you to everybody for listening today, bantering with us today. Your support always keeps this thing going every week. And as always, do us that solid, hit that follow, hit that subscribe button to let the algorithm know when we drop new clips, drop new videos, and know whenever we're posting something. And as always, jump into the comments. We enjoy the commenting. We enjoy the banter. We respond to I think 99% of everything we do get.
Mhm.
Um, yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Never feel, scared to jump into the comment section. Good, bad, indifferent, bantering. It's in the name. It's what we're here to do. Appreciate, all the love and support, taking the time, to watch, listen to us on the number of different outlets you can do so.
Hmm.
Really appreciate it. We love doing this each and every week.
Hmm.
Thank you so much. Everybody have
Yeah.
a blessed rest of your February
Yeah.
and peace.
Yeah. So see you. This is Banter on the Rocks.